Like a flower underground, like a flower from underground.
You live in a different world.
What's good, YouTube? Phobia here, and welcome back to another video. Alright, so I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, you're familiar with the anime known as Demon Slayer. Well, I know it came out 2019. When I started watching it was sometime in 2021. It was the first season that was only out, I believe. I really enjoyed it. I actually liked it pretty much. I liked the little fight with the spider guy that Tanjiro had. And I ended up finishing season 1, and I was like, well, it's definitely not over, so I'll just wait for another season. Then I heard about this thing called manga, because I wasn't really into the anime and manga scene like in 2021. That was like when I first started. So I heard about this thing called manga. Then I was told that Demon Slayer has a manga and it's complete. One of my friends actually ended up telling me that it's a really nice, wholesome ending. It was like one of the best things I've ever read, and I was like, oh, that sounds really good. I'm glad he didn't spoil me. He told me like how to buy a book or like how to find it online. So I ended up reading it, and I don't know how long it took me. It took me a while because I stopped reading between certain arcs. But personally, I'd like to say my experience was with the manga. I honestly feel like I've wasted my time reading it. And this is the video I'll be explaining exactly why I felt like the manga wasn't that good. Now, before I start, I'd like to say it's 2022. I know the second season is out and the movie's already out. My mind hasn't changed on the anime. I still think the anime is really good. It's just the manga itself. And I know they both have the same content because it carries to the anime. But I'm just going to explain exactly why I didn't like the manga. Alright, so for simple reasons, and I know it's not something that's factual, it's pretty subjective. One, I personally did not like the art style. It seems pretty sloppy. And it's not hate to the artist or the mangaka who wrote it. I forgot the person's name. But I personally don't like the art style. There are 3 arcs that are pretty much the exact same. So the 3 friends, or just Tanjiro himself, goes to a location. They find a Hashira. They kill some demons and find an upper moon. Then they might find like a higher upper moon, and then they end up taking them off. So I found that kind of boring after the second arc, which was the entertainment district, which is already animated. So Mugen Train was straight with me. Well, the first half was kind of boring with like the train and shit. The train crashed, and then Akaza made his appearance, and that kind of like got me hype. I was like, ooh, I'm excited. That happened, and you know, the little fight with Rengoku got fucking pierced, and yeah, he died. That kind of piqued my interest. That also got me into the manga, but the rest of it, which is like Swordsmith Village, Entertainment District, and then the other part of Mugen Train, I personally didn't like it. I got bored with it, so I kind of dropped it for a little while. But that was before I went on YouTube and found out that the manga gets even better after like Swordsmith. There's this training arc, and then there's this like final showdown in this thing called Infinity Castle. Now, I honestly have no problem with Infinity Castle. Actually, my favorite thing about it was Zenitsu versus Kaigaku, because I fucking hate Gaikaku, and I loved Zenitsu's character development. How he had to avenge his sensei and all that stuff. That was beautiful to me. So I have 0 problems with that arc. I like how Gyomei, Sanemi, Muichiro fought Kokushibo with the other guy, I forgot his name. I like how Shinobu kind of got it on with Doma. And then Doma fought 2 other people. I forgot the girl's name. He fought Inosuke. I don't really have any problems with that. It's just the arc after. So basically, I'm reading, and I'm not like disgusted just yet. I'm reading, and they're all fighting Muzan, and Muzan's pretty much putting the work on everybody. And but by the way, I personally don't think Muzan is a really good antagonist either. It's really strange. Muzan's the main antagonist, but there are like 3 I can name that are way better in the story, which is Akaza, Kokushibo, and Doma. By like a long shot. Muzan is not really that good of an antagonist or a character. Like, his motives make no sense. he's like, it's just like, it's pretty disappointing. But other than that, Muzan's pretty much just putting a work on everybody else, getting like fighting as much as he can. Kind of don't care. I'm just looking at like Tanjiro and everyone else fighting, and I don't sense like any plot armor and nothing. They seems like they're really having a true struggle. There's no random power-ups or anything, so I have no problem with that. The thing is, it does seem like it drags on a little too much, with like the characters having the exact same lines, saying like, "I'll never give up," "set your heart ablaze." They say that shit like 40 fucking times. I know they say like, "even if I die, this like we'll end this," or any of that stuff. It gets pretty repetitive, and that's the part that I try to like ignore while I was reading it, because it's a fight. But it's just a fight, same fight going on for like a long time, and by the end, it takes him a pretty damn while to die, because for some reason he turns into this fucking worm, I think. Then he turns to a fucking baby. Then he starts trying to dig into the ground, and this is all while the sun is up. So then somehow, some way, Muzan got to Tanjiro and injected himself into like Tanjiro. Then he turns into a fucking demon. Now, with that, personally, I don't see how that was necessary. It kind of dragged on the arc a little longer. I don't think Tanjiro ended up killing anybody, but Muzan definitely killed off some people. Know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to them. But yeah, I personally don't think the Demon King Tanjiro thing was really necessary at all, especially if he was going to be stopped anyways. It just seemed like, oh, more shock value, like with no point. But he ends up being tamed. I kind of forgot how, but yeah, he ends up being tamed. He wakes up next to like Nezuko, I believe, and they like, "Tanjiro, these niggas died." And it was like, oh shit, fuck it, the next day is the next day. Let's just move on to some shit. And it's kind of like, if people are like looking for lessons into that story, I don't think they're finding a good one, in my opinion, because it's just like, these niggas died. They kind of died for Tanjiro's sake, because Tanjiro was looking to get Nezuko to be a normal human again. And yeah, there's no more demons and shit. That's alright, I suppose, but it's just like, fuck it, the next day is the next day, and like hopefully like we'll be straight. And then like, personally, in my opinion, I didn't like that. Then we go to like the far future, where it's like their great grandkids and shit, they going to school. But yeah, we go into the future, and they're like great grandkids are going to school and all that. They start talking about their prophecies, how Zenitsu was like a god, or Tanjiro saved everyone, or some dumb shit. And then like, apparently somebody says like, you know what, I'ma just believe in reincarnation. Like, I really think reincarnation is true, because if we had those real ass niggas back in the past, I wish they had come to this time and like live. Next thing you see fucking Sanemi as a fucking star swimmer, Gyomei as a kindergarten teacher. I'm not even mad at Gyomei. Gyomei is my favorite character. He can do whatever the hell he wants. I fuck with him. And you got Mitsuri and fucking bitch ass Obanai as a fucking like chef or cafeteria lunch lady or some shit. Like, it doesn't make sense. Reincarnation is one thing, but how does it make sense if it's in the exact same body? Like, it's not that, like, it didn't make sense, because it made a little more sense to me in Hunter x Hunter, when Kite fucking got sniped, he died, and then he was born into another body. I get that type of reincarnation, but it doesn't make sense when you get put into the exact same body, and then Sanemi's a cop, somebody else is a cop, and then some other shit. And like, you know what, this future shit is kind of stupid. I kind of wasted my time reading this. That's pretty much what I was telling myself. So I didn't really like the ending. I didn't like the time skip. I disliked that last arc. Well, that Muzan shit that kept dragging on was going on. I didn't like certain characters. I didn't really connect with them that much. I'd say like Akaza was really good. Gyomei was really fucking good. Zenitsu got better. That kind of surprised me. Inosuke got better as well. I didn't expect that from Shinobu. So it's really like, it's not all bad of an ending. It's just not like my favorites. Like, it's not really that good to me. It's kind of like, it made the manga for me personally rated like a 4 out of 10. And then before that, you have these repeating arcs, which are pretty much the same. It doesn't help story wise. And then I end up doing some research. I'm like, there's no way a manga like this is popular, because I'm like, it's pretty basic, and that's what it is. So I do my research. I find out that it's actually supposed to be a basic telling story about like, we're finding these demons, we're killing these demons, we turn this person away from a demon, and all that stuff. So it's supposed to be a basic story. And I'm like, oh, I wish I would have known that before, because in the anime, it makes it seem like this really extraordinary thing. And I'm not gonna say it's the animation. The animation is kind of carrying the series, but yeah, as a story, I didn't really enjoy it. It's just like, what am I reading? This shit is boring. Like, I could be reading something better. But yeah, I've been asked a lot why I dislike the ending. Hopefully that pretty much explained it well. I know I have like trouble talking, so I might say the same things sometimes. But yeah, hopefully that kind of explained it. I don't dislike or hate Demon Slayer at all, though I do think there are better anime, better new ones that came out, better manga that came out other than Demon Slayer. I don't hate it. Like, the anime, I'd really give an 8 out of 10. The fights are really good. The characters expressed pretty well. Well, not all of them. Some of them kind of mid. So yeah, the anime, I give it an 8 out of 10. But the manga, honestly, I give it a 4 out of 10. It was kind of, I wouldn't say a sleeper. It's just like, it's pretty repetitive. It wasn't that interesting to me. It didn't like hook me in as much as the other series did. But honestly, like, if you do feel any different, if you do feel otherwise, if you'd like to prove my point like wrong, if you'd like to prove me wrong, I meant, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I know it takes me a while to put out videos because like, I have this talking problem. Sometimes I say the same shit over and over again. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video.